is picking up the data from there and it is putting in the dates. And you see how fast the bot is able to do it. Imagine if you had to do it, right? So you have to type in, whereas the bot typed in like microseconds. So you see this, the price is 5,026 now for Hyderabad Co-op. So the bot is actually making a note of it, and it is in the background, it is comparing it with the Excel file where the original ticket was there. So I think it has already done that comparison and it has already sent an email also. Right? I'll just pause it for a moment here. So you see this one. So the original price, which was 9,000 rupees, has dropped to 5,026. So which is like huge 4,000 rupees saving for a travel agent. So if a travel agent hadn't seen this, then he would have lost that 4,000 rupees. Or if he would have to do it himself, then he would have to spend a lot of time in doing that, isn't it? So this is just one ticket we are showing. But imagine if the travel agent has to do like hundreds and thousands of tickets in a day. And there are bigger travel agencies which have like, 20, 30 people only to do the ticket booking. Okay, so any questions, guys? So what has happened here is we have built a bot, okay, which is exactly mimicking the human interaction. So if a travel agent has to do, then he did the same steps, right? Now the bot is doing it for him, and bot is doing it at a much faster rate and much accurate rate than a travel agent. Okay, is this example helpful? Do you guys understand a little now about what robotic process automation or what a RPA bot can do and what it is capable of doing? Let me give you one more example. This is also a very simple example.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Ashwini, I'm Sujata, HOD of the department. I
Hi, ma'am.
actually wanted to ask you about this bot. Okay, the training is given in advance, like you have to train the
Absolutely.
bot. Hello.
Absolutely, Sujata ma'am. We have to
Yeah.
build the bot. We have to train the bot to do the steps what a human is doing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And the dates are given, at runtime, or
So
Hello.
yes, the dates
Yeah.
are given runtime. So I mean, I'll show you that video once again. We had an Excel file there wherein the bot was referring to that Excel file. I'll just show you that
Okay.
Excel file
Okay.
also.
Yeah.
Wherein, see, it could be an Excel file or it could be any database where we have to pick up the data from, or it could be any email, it could be any document, it could be anything. The data can be picked up in this case.
So there is a format for that. Like, if it is an Excel file, you have a format wherein you
Yes,
give each field, in that
yes,
format itself. Or if it is
absolutely,
some other file or database file, you give the field
absolutely,
as it is. Like, you have
absolutely,
a specified format. Right, right.
absolutely, ma'am,
Okay.
absolutely. So if you see
Okay.
here, column B is the Hyderabad Goa, wherein HYD and GOI is there. No, so the bot picks up that from location and to location, and it sees the price. So price is 9,000, whereas the current price it is 5,026. So it knows that there is a difference, and it gives a output there. And it's just not one time. You can run it any number of times. So if you see column J, K, L, so you see the times there, 10 o'clock in the morning, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. So the same bot, you can schedule it. Like you can tell the bot, okay, 10 o'clock you have to run, irrespective of what. So you're scheduling the bot at 10 o'clock. So you don't need to run the bot, click the bot, or trigger any event. You can directly tell the bot. I mean, like even after your college hours or all that, also the bot can run without any human interruption.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah.
Ashwini.
Okay. Great. So the second example I will show you is a simple example, a very day-to-day example again, is the LinkedIn bot. So the use case, the example here is, imagine a recruiter, a hiring person, if they are looking for people with, let's say, Java skills, correct? So what do? They go into LinkedIn. Let me show you a couple of steps, how probably you would do it also. Like first is you'll have to log in with your credentials. So once you log in, then you'll have to look for Java. And then maybe if you're looking for, let's say in India only, right? You can put in all the filters here. Or if you're looking for jobs or you're looking for people, you have to put in all these things. Let's say location, then I just put in India here, and then it shows you the results. So you just see how many results have been published here, right? And let's say if you have to look into everybody's detail, and if you want to put it into an Excel, so what do? You open an Excel, you copy this name, and then you put it into an Excel, correct? So the same activity I will show you how a bot will do. So again, we have written the bot, we have coded the bot, we have trained the bot to do these activities. Okay, so if you see here, so it is actually asking you, I don't know if it is clear for you, let me increase the quality of the video. Yeah. So it's actually asking the user, when the bot is running, it's actually asking what is the job title you require, right? So today I require Java, but after 2 hours, I may be looking for .NET. I may be looking for RPA or something else also. So I, as a user, if I'm the recruiter, I just put in Java here, okay? So if you see in the video, we are showing that the user is putting in Java. And you see how fast the bot can enter the data. Imagine if you had to enter it, how slow it would be. Yeah, so if you see the bot is putting in Java, it is selecting probably the location as US, and it has figured out all the results which have come in. So it has actually extracted the data now. So you see within 2 seconds, it has actually extracted the data, the results. Let me just go back here for a second. So you see all these names, Devika, LinkedIn member, all this, Tejaswini, everything. So all this, by the time you see, the bot has extracted that in an Excel form. So that is the speed it operates at. Okay. So this is how the bot, works. Any questions here?
No, Ashwini, you can continue.
Sure. Thank you. Okay. So now let's go to, what are the benefits of RPA, right? Like
Ashwini,
why?
hello,
Yes,
Ashwini.
yes. Yeah.
Tell me, who are your clients for all this? Like, who are
Yes.
your clients for this bots and all that?
Yes. I will tell you, Sujata ma'am, I think the next slide of mine is that
Okay,
only. So
okay,
I'll show you
okay.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure, sure.
Sure. Okay. Right. So let's see what are the benefits of RPA, right? So one is productivity. increase in the productivity. Of course, if you are taking 10 minutes to just look for people in LinkedIn versus the bot is taking 30 seconds, you see the time productivity, right? Accuracy again. So you may do a lot of errors while copying the data in the LinkedIn bot, at least, let's say, for example, copying from the website to your Excel file, whereas the bot will never make mistakes. The savings and faster ROI, instead of spending again the same fundamentals, right? Then multiple platforms. So now I show you very, very basic example, LinkedIn bot or that airline bot. But the bot can do much, much complex tasks. So it can go across multiple applications. Let's say it has to, for example, it has to log into your bank account, download the statements. So from the downloaded statements, it has to figure out, let's say, how many withdrawals you have made, how many deposits you have made, how many deposits you have made through check, how many you have made through cash, or let's say to whom you have made. And if you want to see in the last 6 months, how many such transactions I have made to this person. So all of this, for example, if you want to do, you have to how much time you're spending, whereas the bot can do it in seconds time. So that is, I mean, it can go into multiple platforms. So it can go to your websites, it can go to your emails, it can go to your database, it can go to your PDF documents, it can even go to your scanned documents. Anything, a human can do, the bot can also do. And also, if you're in the industry, then of course the customer interaction and experience, better customer interaction and all that things. So now, I think, Sujata ma'am, you have asked a question where RPA can be used, right? It can be used anywhere, actually. Wherever there is human interaction, wherever there is huge amount of data, where there is too many systems involved, and there is repetitive work, everywhere the RPA can be used. So RPA cannot be used where, I mean, it can be used again, but it will not give you benefit if you do not have any of these. Let me tell you one example. So let's say if a travel agent has to book only 10 tickets in a day and he has 5 people to do that, then probably you don't need RPA. Where you need RPA is he has only 5 people, but he has to book 200 tickets, 500 tickets in a day with only those 5 people. Then you need RPA because the volume is huge. The cost for RPA probably is little expensive than the cost of hiring these 5 people, right? So that is where RPA can be used. Now, let's say, for example, customer service. Very, very typical example of RPA here is the banks. You have to, let's say you have lost your card, bank card, and then you call up your service center, right? The bank customer service center. So they ask you your bank number or your account number or whatever they ask you, and they put you on a hold for a few seconds or minutes, right? So what they do internally is they take your bank, they put it to the bot. The bot internally triggers, it goes and fetches lot of information from all the different sources within the banking system. And let's say you have asked for blocking the card. So it goes everywhere and it just blocks the card or changes the status from active to inactive. So within it is making a lot of changes there. So that is one example of where RPA can be used in customer service. Now, let's say, for example, your healthcare, right? So let's say you want to claim your insurance. Correct. So what you do is you fill in some papers or some forms online and then you submit it. Now your service provider or your health provider or your hospitals, for example, let's say, what do? They receive your application, they receive your claim, and they have to go and check multiple bills, how much can be given, how much you have to pay in cash, all of that, right? So imagine it is very easy to do it for one person, but then there are like hundreds and thousands of patients who are actually doing this activity on a daily basis. Then we can't put like 100 people to do only this activity, right? Then the cost will shoot up. So rather, we are saying we can use bots in doing this. Now, let's say, for example, human resources, the HR department. So, very, very like basic example is your payroll. So the payroll has to be done every month. So what typically the HR does, they pull the data from one system for all your leaves taken in the month, like how many leaves you have availed, how many extra leaves you have availed, all that. Then they will take the reimbursements, like if you have applied for any travel reimbursements, food reimbursements, and things like that. And then there is your regular payroll only, which needs to be paid with tax, without tax, and all of that. How much needs to be deducted? How many needs to be paid extra? All of this. So if HR has to do it for like couple of people, it's very easy. They can have. Typically, companies have multiple systems for this. So one system for reimbursement, one leave application tool will be there, and then there will be one payroll tool. So HR will have to collect data from all these sources, and then they have to, uh, make one final report, and then that is the report which they send it to the bank for payment. Now, if there are thousands of employees in the companies, it becomes very difficult for the HR to do that. So that is where the bots can be used. So in every aspect of life, the bots can be used. Again, where there is repetitive task, there is rule-based task, where there is huge amount of data, everywhere the bots can be used. So I'll give you, a couple of examples of our customers, Tangentia's customers. So Indus Motors. So Indus Motors is one of the Maruti's largest dealer in India. So they sell Maruti cars. Okay. I mean, basically, they have in Kerala, they have more than 200 showrooms in Kerala itself. Okay, so how the bots can be used here? Let's take an experience of when you go to any car showroom. Let's say you want to inquire about a car. You're thinking of buying a car, right? So when you go there, you ask them about the car and things like that, and they take your information, like what is your name, what is your phone number, which car, which model, what color, when do you want it, how do you want to finance it, all of this they take the information. Now let's say after a few days you again go and you have decided now to zeroed in on a car now. So you go and you say you want to buy a car. Okay, so you have to submit few documents, you have to register your car, you have to provide all your documents, Aadhaar card, PAN card, you have to fill in some forms and then sign some forms, all of that, right? So again, all of this is captured, whoever is the receptionist or the sales rep, they capture all of this in an Excel form. Okay. Now you also want to buy your insurance. You have to register your car with the government of India. So all of this you do. So for you, it is a very, very smooth experience. But in the background, there are a lot of activities happening. So let's say when you go and inquire, when they collect your data, they have to feed this information into the Maruti dealer management system. That is a ERP where all this information has to go in. Now, when you decide to purchase a car, when you give your documents and other details, everything again has to go into that dealer management system of Maruti. Now, when you say, I want to register the car with Government of India, there is a portal by Government of India called as Vahan portal, where again all this information has to be fed into that Vahan portal. Correct? So imagine 200 showrooms doing this and for like hundreds of customers walking in. There will be probably like 20, 30 customers coming only to inquire, 10, 20 customers buying the car every day. And Indus claims that every 15 minutes they sell one car. So that is a kind of volume you can imagine they sell the car. For 200 showrooms means every 15 minutes in one showroom, one car is sold, right? So just imagine approximately 10 cars are sold in one showroom in a day. And all these activities have to happen. And there is a huge team which does only this activity. They do not do anything. They just, whatever data is captured from the customer in an Excel, that they copy it into the Maruti dealer management system. Absolutely no other thing, no other work they do. Correct? So we have built bots for them. So there is a sales bot which picks up the data from the Excel and puts it into their Maruti dealer system. So there is one bot which picks up the data from the dealer system and registers your car with the government of India in the Vahan portal. So like this, there are many bots built for Indus Motors. Let me take another example of, okay, maybe LifeMart.
Ashwini, can I interrupt
Yeah,
you?
sure, please.
Yeah, this RPS, doesn't it increase the hacking? Hackers, for hackers, it will be a beneficial system. What are your?
Uh, yeah, no, see, it will not be, ma'am, because the bots exactly, replicate the human things. Let's say, for example, if, I understand where you're coming from. Like, if we share some passwords with
Right.
the bot, will it not, like, be misused? Like,
Yeah.
no, you won't imagine, ma'am, there are bots which can even go and do the payments, even go
Okay.
and do the payments. There are bots, who have your credit card numbers, even they can read OTPs which come to your email, right? Even they can do all of that also.
Yeah,
So
but
it
some
is
of the
very, very
sites,
secured.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
some of
Sure.
the sites,
Prashant, do
this,
you want to explain that once, maybe?
Yes, definitely.
You want to
You
explain
you had
about the credential vault? Yeah.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes. So Sujata ma'am, you had something to say.
Uh, yeah, I just wanted to add this is most of the sites, they come with the captcha codes, right? Okay, they are there for distinguishing a real user from a bot. Okay, now this because of the authentication, like whether a human being is the person who is interacting with the system or not. Now, if bots take up this place, like how can it be automated? Like how it can be bypassed through this captchas and all those.
Okay. So let me answer your first question, whether the details which are there or the sensitive information, is it unsafe? So what happens? Any credentials or anything what is there, there is special locker, or we call it credential vault, which is there on portals, and the data is present in there. So anytime it is supposed to be used on a portal or something, it goes through a secure way. It is not directly visible, or no one can actually look at it. So that way it is secure. Now coming to a second part, that there is captcha in some websites, and how do we resolve it? So with this, with RPA, we can add AIPs to it. So how do we add AIPs? We can build some models which can actually detect the captcha and resolve it. And we have actually done it for some of the websites. So it completely depends upon the client's requirement. Do they want to go ahead and resolve the captcha and enter the details, or they don't want to do it? So it again boils down to a point wherein which websites can be done and which cannot be done. So there is a reason why some of the government websites, um, they don't want bots to be used on them. Okay, for example, what one of the websites is which I don't think it has or it does not have, but the railway booking portal, right? The Tatkal booking portal. So if suppose we deploy a bot in there, and last year someone had actually done it using some script, so he was in jail, right? So why he was in jail? Because government thinks that the person is leveraging the bot's capability and is not creating a common standing stage for the normal users and the bots. So it again it is on you, like whether you want to go ahead and do it or not. So you're understanding, right? So how it goes about. So you need to make decision whether to automate the captchas or you need not go ahead.
One more thing, no, Prashant, I just wanted to clarify. Okay, this Amazon sites and everything, no, they have some real sales and all that, and you see that a sale comes back and immediately,
Yes.
everything is sold out and all that.
Yes,
Now,
yes.
is it the bot who is doing it, or it is the real human beings which within not even a second, fraction of a second it goes off. Is it a bot which is actually selling off then and closing that site?
Yeah.
Or what
Great
happens?
question. Great
I
question.
think
So
very
yeah,
interesting question. Yeah.
yeah, maybe yes, bots can do it, but I'll tell you what happens over there. I mean, this is out of RPA for some reason. So when they release it, it is they open the sessions, and that is when the sale is out, right? So there are some plugins or extensions for some browsers. So in those browsers, these things happen, but it can be done by RPA. But yeah, I don't think if someone is really creative, that person might have done it. But there are some plugins or extensions which does it, and also people, and also this adds up to people trying to jump in when the sale comes in. So that is the reason, like we have around 1.3 billion people, right? So it does not match that population maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you can continue.
Okay, let me give you a couple of more examples very quickly again where Tangential has done work in RPA space. So this is a very interesting use case for Jaguar Land Rover, right? So you all have heard of this European automobile manufacturer, right? So what we have done for them is when this Brexit laws came into picture, wherein UK and the European unions, they said that we are now separating and we will follow our own trade and business laws, correct? So earlier they were all like part of the same European Union, but now with this, they separated out. So there were a lot of it was not very clear at the beginning, like what tax has to be paid, where it has to be paid, and things like that. But then when it became clear, by then JLR had about 40,000 documents to be processed in just 2 months of time. Okay, so what kind of documents here? Again, invoices, transport document, export documents, packing slips. These are all the documents which are related to the invoice. These needs to be processed. When I say processed, it means the data from the invoice or the document has to be read and put it into their SAP. So imagine if I have to do it or if you have to do it, then we'll see the copy of the invoice and then we'll have to type this information into SAP. So imagine 40,000 documents being processed in 2 months' time. It is like nearly impossible, like bringing in so many people to just read the documents and putting into SAP, plus the amount of errors they could make while reading and putting into SAP, right? So what we have done is we had deployed about 30-member team there, wherein we built bots. So this is again not the normal bot here. We have used an intelligent bot which can read the scanned documents. So when I say scanned documents, let's say you have your any document, the physical hard copy document. When you put it through a scanner, the output, the scanned copy which comes in, that is what we are talking here. So all these invoices which come in through the lorries or the transport vehicles, right? They all come in physical documents. So the companies, they scan it and they push it to the bot. The bots can read the scanned copies and can upload this data into the SAP. So like this, 40,000 documents have been processed in a record time of 2 months. So this is one example I wanted to show. Then this is Suncor is another example, very great example to show how RPA can be done here. So we have more than 500 bots working here. 24 bar 7, 365 days. The bots keep running. Again, what kind of bots? All kinds of bots related to HR, related to IT, related to supply chain, related to infrastructure, related to inventories, scanned copy processing, HR, finance. All departments of Suncor have some or the other bots. And we have a people of like 15, 20 people whom we have deployed there and who build bots, train bots, and they push the bots into production for usage. Okay, so like this, I have like many examples where Tangentia, I can show you where we have worked on, but I think just considering the time now that we have taken about an hour, I'll just quickly. Yeah, I had a few more slides, but then yeah, I think it's okay. We can skip them. And then I just quickly hand it over to Prashant now. So Prashant will be giving you a demo of how to build the bots, like probably one or two simple examples of how to build the bots and how you can run the bots and use them. Prashant, you want to take over? Yeah.
Yes, Ashwini. Thank you.
Yeah. So while Prashant is, sharing the screen and all, anybody has any questions so far? Yep. Okay. Looks like we'll have more questions at the end. Prashant, you can take over.
Yes. Okay. So, yeah, to start with, again, just want to know like how many people have registered. Can you just raise your hands here? There is an option to raise your hands, right? So maybe you can do that. Or just put in the chat, okay? Okay, if someone is not done, we can first sort that out and then go ahead. So I just want a good amount of people, like around at least 10 people who have registered. Anyone else? Part of Sankalp and Divya? Okay, what we can do is whoever is not registered, please try to share your screen and I will guide you to do it right away. Let's use our first 10 minutes in doing that. And Sankalp and Divya, you can also maybe share your screen if you guys are doing it.
Prashant, I just want to clarify that many of the students, we have put a large screen. Okay, there are, we have put it, and all the students are there in a seminar hall. Okay, they are watching your session. So it is not individual, machine which they are
Okay.
using it. Okay, so we have, put on a large machine, and everybody is watching you. Okay, so you might not get that count on the participants, but there are around 30 plus students watching
Great.
you.
So,
Okay.
so I will be giving a demo, and I also want the students to try it out on their machine. So so Sankalp and Divya have their personal machines. Is that correct? and also some of
Yeah,
them.
should be having. Yeah, should be having. They have their personal machines. Yeah.
Okay, great. So let me go ahead and start. So I will be showing you how to develop a bot. Okay, it's a low code thing if you have to see. So this is the portal. It's called Automation Anywhere, one of the tools which are used for RPA. Okay, and this is the URL. I just post these URLs in the chat as I go. So once you go over there, enter your credentials, and you are into the portal. Okay. So what we'll do is we'll create a simple bot to log in into some portal maybe, or maybe we'll try to log in into your Facebook account. I know like everyone has Facebook and Instagram account, so you can just try out that. So to go about that, how do we start? So first of all, click on this icon, then you'll get create new option. Click on create new bot. Okay. So I'll just name my bot like Facebook login bot. So I have specific folders too. Okay, so this is very first level. So we just created a shell of a bot. Like we haven't entered any details in it. It is like very high level shell of it. So if we have to log into Facebook, first of all, we need to launch the website, right? So how do we launch it? So let me just so maybe we want to launch this website. So I'll just copy this, and there is an option. You just do search, browse. So all this commands, information regarding this commands is there on the knowledge base. So we just put over here. We'll select browser, that is Google Chrome, and say save. Okay. Okay. Before even running the bot. So I hope everyone, whoever has installed, is getting connected status over here. Okay, if this is not connecting, the bot won't run, as in it won't get deployed on your machine. So how it is that this client is installed on your machine and this control room is hosted on a server. So the client will make a request to the control room, and then the control room will deploy the bot on your machine and it will run on your machine. Okay, so if this is not connected, it is not going to run. So first step of the process is is in opening the link. So what I'll do is I'll just run this line of code. So I have added the browser command, open. I have selected open type of the browser command, added the link which I need to browse, and also selected which browser to open it in. So if I run this, so control room is basically trying to connect to my machine. Okay, this is how it will log, as in it will start. So our first bot is done. It says your bot ran successfully, and close it. So this is fine. So what we'll do next? So once we come over here, we need to enter the details. So there are two ways of entering details. One is selecting one item at a time, and second is if you can see the cursor over here. So it is already in the email address part. So what I can do is I can just enter the credential this way, like these are my credentials. I can say tab and then password, then again tab and again tab. Now it comes on login and then enter. Okay. So this way I can log in. So this is one way of logging it, wherein I type as in I feed in the keystrokes. Okay. There is another way which I will show you in the second half, is we will the select the items or the objects on the screen and then enter the details over there. Okay, so first we'll go ahead with this. So what we'll do is since website launches, okay, what is the next step? So basically RPA is all about sequencing steps. So once we browse, what is the next step? Next step is to enter the phone number, okay, and the phone number will be entered in this place only because it is already selected. So how we do? Before even that, my internet is slow, so I'll add a delay of around 5 seconds. So I select the seconds and I select seconds option over here. I'll save this again. Now comes the next step. Next step is keystroke. So if you type keystroke, here you get simulate keystroke and just drag it over here. Okay. So first option is this. So we need to enter email address, then tab, enter the password, two tabs, and then enter. So first time when we select simulate keystrokes, we select browser. We just refresh it so that we get the browser window. We select on the drop down. Okay. Okay. So here you see Google Chrome, Facebook login and sign up. I select that. Then I enter the keystroke. So it says enter the keystrokes here or use the on-screen keyboard. So here there is an on-screen keyboard. You can either select any special characters or special keys from here, or the normal keys you can just type in. So I'll just type in my credentials over here. Okay, and then I'll enter one tab option over here. So this way, what it will do, it will enter my username and then it will click tab. So we'll run this as well. I'll close this Facebook page and so it is in the delay stage, if you can see over here. Okay, this is how it entered and it went to the next line. Since we selected, then we click tab. Okay, now what we'll do is, now it has come down, right? So we'll take another simulate the operation. We'll select the browser and this time we will enter the password. So here, Sujata ma'am, I think you had asked a question like whether the details will be secure or not. So if you can see over here, there is a credential vault. So I'm not using it credential vault because for now it will be difficult for the students to sync in. But there is a way in which we can select create credentials and pick credentials. So there is a locker and all these kind of things which keep the details secure. Okay. For now, we will use a direct data screen as an insecure screen, which will just type in the details. Okay. This is the password, and then I'll again do twice tab so that it enters down. So this way it will enter my username, password, and it will go to the, so I'll just save this as well. Okay, I've closed that and I'll run this one. Okay, so you can see this got highlighted, which means it is the control has come over here. Now only step which is remaining is just to click on enter. So I'll close this again. I'll get one more simulate key. So there are two ways in which you can do. You can just drag or you can just delete this. Or you can just double click. So it will come over here. Okay. So again, I'll select the browser. I'll refresh this. Facebook login. And here I will select enter. Okay. So that is it. With this, all the steps of my login bot are complete and we'll run the bot. Okay. So we have successfully logged in into my Facebook account. So this is a very simple Facebook login bot. Okay. Now let's try this first. And what you can do is uh, whoever is whoever is trying out these things, I want to see what they are doing so that I can guide you guys maybe to proceed further. Okay. And Sujata ma'am, the people who are there in the room, they don't have, isn't this is a lab, right? So they don't have machines in front of them.
No, there are some of them who are just watching. Okay,
Okay.
the rest of the some few of them are on the machines. Okay,
Mhm.
I will just have to check if anyone has got that program out. Okay, just give me 2 minutes.
Okay, definitely. So maybe you guys can do a group of two or three and sit on a machine and try it out. And maybe whoever for now can just share their screen. So who had raised their hands, Smita and sorry, Divya and Sankalp, you can maybe share your screen and we'll see how exactly you're doing and let others also see.
Hello,
Yes, ma'am.
Prashant.
Yes.
Prashant, you tell me now.
Mm.
See, I have been teaching software engineering for the final year students. Okay, and
Okay.
in that, we learn Selenium as a testing tool. Okay,
Right.
and
Mm.
we have done testing of login to Facebook and login to Gmail account and all this. Now,
Mm.
how is
Mm.
it different from your bot? Like in testing we do all this. Okay, to
Mm.
just to have a test case, we prepare some
Mm.
test cases. Okay,
Right.
and
Right.
we do that using Eclipse Selenium.
Right.
Okay, so this is the same process which we do for
Mm.
test cases. Okay, through the Eclipse. Now,
Right.
how, like when I looked at it, I
Mm.
saw that it was the same thing. Like you could
Mm.
just put on the test, put in the data and just find out whether that website is
Mm.
working or not. Okay,
Mm.
now
Mm.
how I still am not been able to figure out how
Mm.
a bot is different from a test case, test case.
Okay. So, in Selenium, what all platforms can it operate on? And what is the background of that? As in, I would say you need to write in Eclipse, you need to write scripts, right?
Right.
Yeah. And what all platforms can this Selenium operate on? Is it a cross-platform thing?
Eclipse works on. I don't know. I don't have any idea whether it will
Okay,
work on
okay,
a cross platform, but
okay. So I'll just yeah, I got your point. Like why if we have Selenium, why do we go for bots, right? So see if you can see over here, there are hundreds of different ways in which we can do. So basically, the bot gives a versatility of using it on different platforms. So it does not require any specific installation or specific anything what is very what do we call it? So suppose something specific is required, that is not required in this particular bot. So and moreover, these can be scheduled at different time zones and they can be controlled through a dashboard. Okay, so Selenium is only client. So when I say client, you have it on your machine, you do it and you run it, right? But this is different. You control it from a control room, as in there is a server from where all these things can be controlled. So that you can see like let me just show you
Okay. So you are saying like it is through it's not through the client as such, but it will be through an organization. Like it will be a system run by the admin.
yes, a system run by admin. So there are two things which can happen. Okay, so one is we can actually schedule it. So for example, you want to run the bot like say 10 different times of the day, you can do it. Then
Okay.
second thing is if suppose someone wants to run it from there, suppose I'm sitting over here and I have deployed a bot on your machine. I can run it from my machine. I can just log into the dashboard and run it. That
Okay.
is one of the things, right? And also the
Okay.
most important thing is it is versatile. It can go on cross platform. It is not bothered about what is the backend technology, like whatever
Okay.
it is. It can be any application. It can be a Baba Azam ke zamane ka application wherein no technology works but the automation bot will work on it.
Right, 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 right.
I
Okay.
think
Yeah.
also Selenium, if I'm not wrong, with whatever I understand, it's more of a web, kind of a tool where it can pick up the data from a web page and that page. But whereas RPA can even go into your backend systems and it can process data from there as well. And
Yeah,
I
Ashwini,
think
I think, yeah.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ashwini, this is a right, yeah. This is a
Yeah.
right point, which, when we
Right.
talked about selenium, it is all web-based, right?
Correct. So it
Okay.
can just
When we
scrape the
talked
data
about,
from the
yeah,
web.
correct,
Yeah.
correct,
But
yeah.
whereas RPA, you can build rules. You can ask it to, go into the database, multiple databases, calculations, Excel
Right, right.
files, all of that,
Okay.
emails, and all of that also. And
Yeah,
Selenium,
yeah. If
I
I,
guess, ma'am, it's a Java based. It's heavily Java
yeah,
based
correct.
language, right?
Right, right.
But whereas
Yeah.
RPA, it's like, you don't require very, very minimal coding is what you require in. It's a drag and drop kind of a thing as well.
Yeah, very good. And I think you have much more features than what we have through
Absolutely.
that Selenium. Correct.
Yes, that's
Yeah,
right.
And
very
also
nice.
interaction with APIs, as in if there are exposed
Ah,
APIs, we can also
right,
interact with them.
Mm-hmm.
So
right, right,
it
right.
becomes a cross-platform kind of a thing, not only
Hmm.
web-based, but legacy applications on your machine, if they are there,
Mm-hmm.
it can operate with that also.
Right,
Excel,
right.
Word, anything you name it, and I think it can
And
work.
yeah. And when Ashwini gave an example about scanning and all that, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think Selenium can do all
No.
those features, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
so what Ashwini gave an example is about there is something called as IQ bot under automation anyway. So it uses AI sense. So what happens is that whenever a document is there, it may be scanned or it may be a digital document. So when I say digital, you can edit it. So data from the document, from digital document, it is easy to read, right? But from a scanned document, only we can see it. But the IQ bot uses OCR of different engines, so Abby, Google, Tesseract, many engines are there. So based on that, it can pick data and it can spit out a CSV out of it. So that we can actually leverage in many different ways.
Okay,
Thank
one more question I had is whether you all going for a only do you all develop some hardware robotics also, or you all going for only like only hardware component, software component? Do you all really manufacture, or you all go in for hardware components also, robotics? Hello.
Yeah,
No, ma'am. We don't deal with the hardware robotics. These, what we do is only the software robots.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Prashant, you can continue.
yeah. So thanks for the questions. I think it will give us better insights for the students. Thanks, questions. So again, anyone did try this out after we saw the demo?
I think they are having internet connectivity problem. Okay.
Okay.
But they have got the gist of it. They have understood how it is, because the most of the students are TY, so they have
Mm-hmm.
already seen how it happens with the selenium. So this
Okay.
would be another added feature, wherein they know,
Mm-hmm.
like, it is also a bot can be performed on it, like,
Okay.
automation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Great. So maybe what I'll do is I'll show like how it can be done from a different way. So I showed the keystroke panel. Now I'll show the recorder how we actually select objects and then add details in it. So there maybe we'll get a better understanding. But okay. Okay. So I have done the same thing over here. So what is the thing is like first we browse, then there is a record option. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just get one record option. And when we select capture object, okay, so you might get these kind of errors due to resolution of your machine or internet connection. So here happens. So once you see it is highlighted. So once you select that object, you get properties of that object recorded under this particular record. Okay. So what all properties are recorded? HTML tag, unique ID, all these things like domex path. I think you use domex path in Selenium, right? So you might be familiar with it. Then HTML ID and all these things are there. So what happens whenever so if we save this, 1 second, I'll just do one thing. I'll say set text, and here set text, we will do like enter the credential. Okay. So what will happen? The bot, when it comes to this particular command, it will search this object based on these properties. So these properties, it will go and it will search, and it will search on this URL, that is Facebook login and or sign up. Once it searches, it will do a set text operation, and in this set text, it will do keystroke. Okay. So even if suppose now this is kind of a robust way of building it. So what will happen? Suppose the website logs in and by mistake you click somewhere else. Now this cursor is not over here, right? So if you type in something, nothing comes up. Only if it is cursor is there and you type in, it will go over here, right? So in this scenario, when you select a recorder object, it will actually select this object and then type in over there. So in case if you go anywhere else, as in it gets clicked anywhere else, it won't affect the bot. Same way we have done for the credentials, as in the password as well. So password, the same thing we have done, selected it, and the login button as well. So let me just run this bot as well. Yeah, so this is how it will also log in, right? So both are same, but the way of doing it is different. So one is more robust, and one is kind of it can be error prone kind of. If if the bot is running on your machine and some user comes and clicks on a different location, then the sequence is breaker. So nothing will happen after that. The bot will just fail. But if suppose you use recorder options, the bot will actually find the object and then operate on the object, right? So I hope even this is clear. Any questions on this kind of a thing on this demo?
Prashant, now this capture, okay, actually it doesn't make any sense, if the websites are having all those capture things and everything. If the bot can actually scan that and,
Yes.
that was the main purpose of having the capture.
Yeah. So what happens, ma'am? Like people are really smart. So what they do, they use these AI models and they break the captcha, as in they enter it. But now the latest version of captcha has come, wherein you cannot actually with the bot you cannot do it. So I think version 3 which has come. So that is where you cannot actually detect it. You cannot break it using AI model. So even the captcha people are trying to do it. So again, it comes to ethics. If we really want to go and do it, because what happens? There was one of our clients wherein they want to feed like lots of data into a website, and their website had a captcha. So when it is a captcha, it means that they don't want any bot to do it, right? They want humans to do it. But using AI model, we broke through it, as in we could go into it and we can enter the details. But it is again depending on the client requirement. Do they want to do it, or if they don't want to do it?
I think there are some other kind of captcha also coming now, wherein they put a line over the text, like they write WXYZ, and then they write a line or a cross mark. So the bots cannot read such things, anything overlapping a text, right? It will be difficult for the bots to read, where only the humans can, read and interpret it. That is one. Some other kinds of also have come in wherein they open up a small window where they ask us to identify traffic signals or
Right, right, right.
cars.
Yeah.
So probably the bot,
Correct.
cannot do those kind of things.
Right, right. Now they are becoming very
Right.
secure as such. Yeah.
Correct. So instead,
Correct.
what we do in such cases is we give a small window or an interface for the user to put in the captcha. For example, let's take Prashant, if you want to just quickly open the SBI Bank,
Yes.
online SBI.com, I think that is. Yeah, the first one. Right. So if you try to log in into that personal banking, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, no, not that.
Okay.
Yeah, this one. Mhm. So
Okay.
if
This is
you see
business.
here, there is a captcha, right, in this. So what we do is the bot can put in the login ID and the password. And when it comes to captcha, we give a small window for the user where the user can manually type in the captcha, like whatever this PCCYE, the user can manually type in and the bot accepts that and can process it further.
Okay.
We
Okay.
do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what happens is it will give a prompt. When
Prompt.
the bot
Right.
is running, it will give a prompt, and the
Prompt.
user will just enter the details in the prompt, and then the rest of the things the bot will do. So
Okay. 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 Okay.
this is
Okay.
a so there are two kinds of ways in which a bot can run. Okay, a monitored and a non-monitored way. So what happens? A person,
Uh-huh.
we call it attended and unattended. So when it is unattended,
Huh.
you don't sit on the machine. The bot runs on his own. You schedule it. But in case of these financial things, like how what Ashwini said, so we run unattended bot. So when attended bot is in, a person is just monitoring, and then the bot does the process whenever required. The person will give an input for the bot to proceed further.
Okay. Okay. Very good. Very good. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So that way, maybe 10% of the work the user does, the person, and then the 90% of the work the bot does. So that way, we'll leverage the bot's capacity. Okay. Uh, so again, any questions from the students? Like, what is happening? As in anything which is not working on
Students,
your side?
students, please. Students, please ask questions.
It can be as silly as I'm not able to log in into the portal. I can help you with that. Okay, so I have given the demo now for two things. I will give one exercise and I want all the students to complete because I think everyone has a machine at home, everyone has a laptop or maybe a PC, and this portal is free of cost. There is no price or nothing to be paid. So I will give you an exercise, you complete it, and once you complete, you get a score on it. Okay, and that score you will need to share with your professor. Okay, it says that you completed the program or the course. You need to have hands-on experience, otherwise you'll forget it tomorrow or day after. If you really want to move ahead, or you are thinking that RP is a good opportunity for you going ahead. Okay, so let me show you the use case what I'm talking about. Okay, so some time ago, this automation anywhere people only, like this year, they had published a challenge for all the developers. So they were like, we are giving you this challenge and show us how fast you can do these things. So what the challenge was? First of all, open this. So this was the link. I'll just share this link in the chat so that you also can read it. So the challenge was that it says a new corporate customer needs to be added to the cable co customer relationship manager system. So this is the system. Okay. Download the CSV below this CSV. Enter each missing customer's information. So this CSV contains the missing customer's information, and you need to enter it below. So it says once you enter, click register after entering each customer's details to commit to the CRM. So when you say commit, you guys might be knowing it is saving it to the CRM. Once all the 7 customer details have been entered, your score for the exercise will be displayed. So if I have to tell you what actually we need to do is we need to open this website, we need to use the recorder option, and we have to click on this download or browser option and download the CSV. Once the CSV gets downloaded, you need to use CSV automation. Okay, and in the CSV automation, you will open this Excel, and once you open this Excel, you need to get these details line by line. I'll show you. I have built the bot. I will just take you through it. You have to get this line by line, and then you need to, once you get one line, item, one row, you need to fill in over here. You need to click on register. Okay. Similarly, once you complete all of that, the dashboard will give you a score. So the score will look something like this. So my first attempt was 8.98 seconds, second was 6.69, and then the last was 0.015 seconds. So, and you get 100% accuracy or whatever accuracy. So if you enter like wrong details, it will give you what accuracy you have. So once you complete this, you will get this kind of a screen, and you just have to capture that and maybe share it with your faculty, right? So I'll just take you through the bot, how I had built the bot, and maybe it will give you an idea about that. So, and yeah, before that, I'll just give you links to follow for that. So this is, I'll share all these details on email. So what is Excel automation? So these things you can use to build the bot. So So what I had done was that I was actually I had built a JavaScript, okay, and with the JavaScript I was able to do it in below 1 second's time. But what you can do, you can just browse, okay, open the website using browse download it to the particular folder on a machine, okay. Once you download, open the CSV. So once you open, it will open under specific session. Once the session opens, then loop through the CSV. It says C. Once you click on loop, it will say select whatever option. If you type CSV over here, it will give you CSV text. Select that and then assign it to a specific variable. Okay. Once you assign, okay, this got through. So once you assign, you get it into the variables. Then you use the record operations which I showed you. Or you can use the keystroke as well. So you type in tap, 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 tap. Okay, that way. So I had used over here JavaScript. So I built a JavaScript and then I ran it like on the go. So it was like very quick. But what you can do, so the operations from here till here will be same. Inside this will be the record options. Okay. So any questions like about this?
Prashant, can you run your bot?
This bot I cannot run, ma'am, because the
Okay.
system which I had developed it on has changed, so it will fail for
Okay.
some reason. Okay.
Okay.
But what I'll
Yeah.
do is, I will. I have a recording also of that. I will share that recording with you.
Right.
And
Okay.
okay, I will do that. Yeah. So any questions? And yeah, if you don't have any questions right now, you can reach out to me later on. Like Ashwin will be sharing my email address. You can reach out to me on LinkedIn, whatever. Okay. Okay. So if we don't have any questions, Ashwini, I think
Yeah.
you can take it over.
Okay. Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Thanks, Prashant.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so I'll just quickly share my screen back. Okay, so so there are some myths also about RPA, that RPA, whether robots will replace humans. I mean, we built the bots, right? So I don't think bots can replace us. But yes, they can replace us where there are huge volume of tasks and where there is accuracy needed. So all those places, the bots can replace the humans. Yeah, but then where there is decision making, where at the moment you have to take a decision, no, the bots cannot do that job. So it is only the humans who can do that job. So that's what we are trying to say. Only the mundane, repetitive, clerical kind of work the bots can do. But where there is a need for decision making, using your brain, where you'll have to, at a spur of a moment, you have to take some thoughts or decisions, bots cannot replace the humans. Right? And we are also saying, that bots are 100% accurate. To most of the extent, it is correct. But again, sometimes if you program it wrong, then the bots, will not be accurate. So, if the programming itself, if the bot building itself is wrong, then you cannot expect the bot to be 100% accurate. Right. And then there are a lot of other dependencies also, right? You need internet, you need power, you need systems where it has to run. Like for example, let's say, for example, the simple Facebook example which Prashant was showing you, right? So tomorrow, if Facebook, instead of right-hand side of the page where login is there, instead of that, it changes it to the right-hand side. The login text boxes and all are on the right-hand side. The bots will not be able to understand it, right? Let's say instead of username, they change it to something called as write your name here or write your phone number here, for example. The bots probably will not operate. So it's again, the humans are needed there to change the bot and to retrain the bot there. Lot of such scenarios happen wherein we have built the bots, but the bots have worked fine for some time and they start failing because the UI has changed. Let's say there is a separate extra column introduced or extra text button or a button somewhere it's being introduced on the web page. So there the bots fail. We have to retrain them that time. So it's not that we have to rewrite the whole code, but only that part where they fail, we have to retrain them. Okay.
So,
Then,
Ashwini, that means it is a regular process, right? Because websites go on changing, or your app goes on changing. So it is a continuous process of changing your bot, right?
absolutely, ma'am. That's where all these IT companies make money also, right? Out of building the bots. Otherwise, if you build the bots and leave them, that's how it is. And the bots have to be trained, right? They are just programs. So
Correct.
if the website changes, then of course, it definitely fails. So for example, anything for that matter, like let's say, your website URL only has changed for some reason.
Yeah,
Then the bots
correct.
will not understand it. You'll have to update the things. So some things are very, very like minor changes. Like for example, if there is a new button introduced, so you just saw how Prashant showed you the recorder functions and all, right? So it is as easy as that. It will not take like in the previous times when you do it with Java or .NET or C# or whatever, it takes like days together for you to build that code. But here it is like, within hours you can build the code. So that is also an advantage of using RPA there.
Okay.
Yeah, and to add to it, ma'am,
Yeah.
if you build, so there are robust ways of building this bot, right? So I
Mhm.
just showed you the first way of keystroke, the second way of recorder. So there are more ways in which we can build it. So if we can do in a better way, even if the position or something changes, the bot will still work. But as Ashwini said, if suppose the URL only
Mhm.
changes, then we cannot do anything on it.
Correct. Yes.
So the maintenance of this bot is always with y'all, I think, no? Because there won't be an in-house person who will do the maintenance.
So it depends, ma'am. It depends actually. So there are some companies where they have a IT team, right? So we kind of train them to handle these small things. For example, every 3 months we have to change our bank passwords and all, right? So they don't need to come to us to, do all of that. They can do it themselves. So we train them how to do it.
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Right? Okay. So moving on, the last myth I wanted to talk about is that RPA will not work in small industries. So yes, RPA as a technology, the bots are little expensive, but it's not that it will not work in the smaller industries. Even smaller industries can afford RPAs. So wherever there is a repetitive human volume data, everywhere the bots can be deployed. Okay, so I think we are well within the time. We have reached end of the session here. So I'm publishing some email IDs of mine and Prashant and also the HR team. So in case you have any technical questions or you have started building the bots and you need our help or you're looking for any project, internship or training or just like the weekend classes, if you want to attend with us, anything and everything related to RPA, we can help you out and we can connect you to the right people in case we are not able to do that. Okay. Lastly, I would like to thank Sujata ma'am. Thank you so much for providing, this opportunity. I think it is always good, when we kind of interact with the students and the college kids, right? So it is always, it always feels fresh. It always feels nice because it's like memories bringing back when we used to attend such sessions. So thank you, Sujata ma'am, and also please thank Anita ma'am for coordinating all of this. I mean, she was in touch with me for organizing this whole session. And of course, thanks to all the students who participated here today. Thanks, Prashant. Thanks for participating with me too. So ma'am, if there is nothing else, I think we can wind up the session.
Hello, Anita? Are you there? Hello? Anita missing.
So actually, Anita ma'am had asked us to come to the college and we were very happy to come. But then unfortunately, this 2-3 weeks, it's too busy, too many bots, getting rolled out because the year end is coming and a lot of customers go on leave and all. So we have a lot of pressure to complete few things on time. So, I mean, yesterday I and Prashant were talking if we could make it to your college and do that, but it's very unfortunate we couldn't meet you in person. But next time anything like this happens, we would definitely love to come to you all and meet you all there.
Thank you, Ashwini. In fact, our students were also looking forward. We had little glitches pertaining to the internet connectivity. So, that demo session on that Facebook bot was an issue for us. But
Okay.
nevertheless, our students would like to have a internship program in your campus if possible. Okay,
Absolutely.
and more
Yeah.
hands-on, if possible, then we would like to have another session of this
Yeah,
because there are so
absolutely.
many students,
Absolutely.
interested in having offline session because of the technical glitches, following becomes a little issue, and the students are new to this technology. So we would
Right.
like to have
Right.
an offline session.
Mm-hmm.
Let us know your convenience, and I'm very thankful. And it was a very interesting session, for all of us, and the students were really enjoying. Like, some of us who had a good network connectivity, they were able to do and follow
Sure.
Prashant and you. And I only knew about the hardware robots, okay, and this software technology on robotics was very interesting. And I'm sure my DY students will incorporate this knowledge in their upcoming projects that they are going to work on. Thank you so much. Yeah, and over to our head of department, Sujata Gaukar. She is going to officially propose a vote of thanks.
Yep. Thank you. Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you, Anita. First of all, I would like to thank Ashwini and Prashant, who did a very good job. Okay, it cleared our doubts, and the students, it was a new topic wherein, we had, the students had never heard about, how actually the bot works, how we can automate the software component on bot. Okay, so these are the things, which the students had had less knowledge about it. Okay, so this was an eye opener for them. It was a very good session. Okay, y'all went from the scratch. The details of it was taken up very well. But it would have been better if you could give us some other time and come offline and use our machines and give them a little insight about how actually one small bot can be developed using that
Sure.
automation anywhere. Okay, we will keep in touch with you. Okay, and as and when you all have time, or you all have some off days, I think December's and everything, I think you all are more relaxed. Okay, because you have outside clients. Okay, so you can
Yeah,
think
that's
about your coming down to our college. Okay, and putting the students on hands-on. Okay, it was a very informative session. Thank you very much, Ashwini and Prashant. Okay, and the Department of Computer Science has always been, putting up this new technologies in front of the students and hearing the students. Now it is a competitive world wherein, the students have to go out besides their academics. Okay, so this has given us a platform wherein the students are learning more about bots, and now the government with that new education system is all about robotics. Okay, so the NEP policy of national education policy is always talking about robotics and all that. So this has given us a platform, and we look forward to y'all. Okay, with more sessions and grooming our students, in the robotic area. Thank you very
Sure.
much. And
Thank you.
last, I would like to thank the students who registered themselves. You might see on the participant list there might be only 9, but if you actually, we will send you a snapshot of the participants. We have around
Yes.
30 plus
Yes.
participants joined over here. Okay, we are also on YouTube. Okay, I'll send you the link once the recordings are over.
Sure,
Okay,
sure.
and our principal also was glad enough. She also told us that such type of sessions will really enhance our students with more knowledge. Okay, so thank you very much. Thank you for the organization Tangentia. Okay, for allowing you all to come over here and interact with our students. Thank you
Sure.
very much.
Thank you, Sujata ma'am. Thanks all the students. And may I request Smiley to share the feedback with us once the students fill in, maybe in a couple of days if you can share, so that way, if there are any improvements we could make for the next sessions or for some other students, we could definitely do that. We are open to, any kind of improvements there.
Yeah, I will do
Thank
that.
you.
I will
Thanks.
do that. Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you,
See you.
everyone.
Yeah. Have a
Bye.
good day.
Thank you, everyone.
Have a
Have a
good
great
day.
day
Have a
ahead.
good weekend.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Thanks,
See you.
Prashant.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.